But why would you use your real uniform, your real badge number? You don't think that somebody in your department is a creep and they're already on OnlyFans surfing and come about your particular content? Think about it. There's a lot of people out there that watch OnlyFans. A lot of people. You got to be careful, right? You got to be careful with the people that are out there, because if you got an OnlyFans and you over here in a job, they may subscribe to your stuff and you don't even know. You don't even know. You could be a foot model. And these creeps out here over here giving you $90 a piece just to be able to wiggle a toe.
Yo, Beth, that shit crazy.
On a Saturday, it's All Even with your boy Barry Grant. Welcome to the All Even Podcast. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, all those platforms at All Even Podcast. You can listen to the show on Podbeam as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of that stuff. I'm all over the place. Trust me, go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment. We are very, and I mean very, very close to 10,000 subscribers. So please, like, share, and comment. Get us over that 10,000 subscriber mark. It's a really, really big milestone for the show, for everybody that has watched, supported, has been a part of it. So please do so. It's going to be somewhere on the screen. Just click the damn button. You know what I mean? And what else is there? Is that all the intro? Did I cut it short? I did? There's no Claw. Claw's not here. You know, shouts to Claw. We don't have a guest today. It's a solo show. But the Silent Assassin is here. Welcome back.
What's up?
Yeah, you know, listen, with the show, we missed you last week. You know, I did the live show. It was great. Mm-hmm. Shouts to Al, the crazy Eagles fan. We had a good time. But Silent Assassin was not here.
Nope.
Now, I don't know what the hell was going on with you. But as long as you're good, we good.
Yeah, I had a very, actually, eventful Friday. You know, I was not feeling well. And then I did share a story with Claude during the week about a bathroom disaster I had to deal with at work. And then also a story I didn't share about on my way to work getting double flipped off by this lady behind me. So it was a very busy Friday.
Why did you get flipped off by the lady?
So I'm driving to work in the left lane going 68. And there's an undercover cop car in the middle lane a little bit ahead of me. So I've been seeing around like on Facebook and whatnot that these cops have been pulling a lot of people over lately.
Right.
So I'm like, in general, too, you don't pass up a cop, especially I'm already going 68, so if I pass him, you know, I'm going to get, you know, a ticket for speeding. So, you know, I'm cruising, and then all of a sudden I see this Mercedes kind of fly up right behind me. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to go any faster. So she can go around me, do whatever, right? So she's riding up right behind me. You know, and then I started to see, like, hand motions and stuff, and I'm just like, I have no care in the world, lady. Like, I'm not, you know, gonna go any faster. So, maybe, like, 2 minutes, you know, of this whole thing going on, and then I look up another time, I just see, like, 2 double birds just up in the air, like, hand off the steering wheel, just flipping me off, and I'm like, I honestly, like, I have no care in the world. Like, if I maybe was feeling a little bit better, I would have had a little aggression.
Yeah.
Even the cop too, like, wasn't there, I would have maybe, you know, done something. But I was just like, you know, it was, you know, learning to not get so upset over situations.
Woosah. So, like you turn the other cheek. Silent Assassin, that is growth. That is called maturity. Okay, because I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd have ran that old bitch down, and I'd have chose violence.
Yeah.
I'd have chose violence. I would have got a speeding ticket. And I'll put hands on somebody. Mm-hmm. So shouts to you for keeping your composure. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is what life is about. It's about learning these lessons. You get these tests when you're young, and you got to see how you deal with it. Because me at 39, I ain't got no patience. Mm-hmm. Zero. I was just telling you that, you know, I've had a bit of epiphany. I really have. Like I put my videos out there. I call myself the lightning rod for controversy. I really am. Like anything that I say, I put out there, people just have this emotional reaction to it. And I sat back and I was just like, look, why don't people like me? Yeah, I'm a likable person. People in my life, they I'm a nice guy. I care about my family. But the internet people, they just don't like me, man. It's like, I'm just honest. I'm a truth teller. Sometimes when you tell the truth as harsh as I tell it, people don't like that, right? Like I talk about these athletes, right? I talk about these basketball players that I call them failures. I call this guy's a disappointment, bum, blah, blah. And then the response that I get from people, when he's made $500 million in his life, he's taking care of his face. Shut up. Shut up. Every single sports athlete in the world is in a better spot than you and me. They're rich. Mm-hmm. Even the people that ain't making, tens of millions of dollars, they making millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. They good. Mm-hmm. So if I'm having an argument or discussion or debate about a particular athlete, and I'm talking about their profession and what they've done in their career, I don't give a damn about how much money they made. Every athlete is rich. Mm-hmm. So if we're going to use that as context, what conversation would you ever have about an athlete then? I can't talk about Strasburg because he made $200 million in his career. He's a flop. I can't talk about Jason Bay being on the Mets. He made $66 million off the Mets. Ain't do nothing. Mm-hmm. Can't talk about it because he's feeding his family. I don't care about that. I don't know the man. But what I do know is that he shit the bed when he was in Queens. Gotta talk about it. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's like, all right, maybe sometimes I feel like maybe my delivery is a little harsh. So I'd like to say I will work on it. And I will try to work on it this show. I'm going to show everybody that I can be objective without being really, really harsh. We were also having an off-topic conversation about me not caring about certain aspects of society and how we interact. Like, I've seen people in high school 20 years removed, and they're like, hey, we should hang out. And I'm just like, never dawned on me to ever say, yeah, we should. The first thought in my mind is like, no, I don't want to. If I didn't hang out with you in high school, why the hell would I want to hang out with you now? Wow, we're going to have new views, new things that we agree on? Possibly. I ain't got no time for that, though. I want to hang out with my cats. I want to hang out with my fiance and my son and play my video games and watch my sports. I don't care to mingle. I don't. There's plenty of people that come down here weekly, right? I see them here. I don't really see them anywhere else because I don't care to. I enjoy my solitude. I'm to myself. I've always been that way. People used to always say, oh, well, he's very standoffish. I'm not standoffish at all. I just don't want to talk to you. I just don't want to talk to you. But if you come up to me and say something, we'll have a conversation. No problem at all. But if you knew what I was thinking, you probably wouldn't speak to me. And I say it all the time. If you knew what I was thinking in that moment, you wouldn't speak to me. It's a lot to cover. A lot of stuff to talk about. There's some Diddy updates that we got to talk about. The world is going crazy over this surveillance video that was released. The NFL schedule has been released as well. So there's a lot of things that I want to talk about, especially with my Dallas Cowboys. I'd like to go over the Dallas Cowboys schedule and how I think that they're going to be below 500 this season because I don't believe that they're going to be that good. Harrison Butker had some controversial comments to these standards of life nowadays. Controversial. And I'm definitely going to get into that. That's going to be a very, very interesting conversation with the Silent Assassin. Netflix has agreed to a deal with the NFL to host some Christmas games, so that's kind of fly, like that. See, the WWE over here setting trends. All of a sudden, all sports trying to get on Netflix now. Don't try to follow wrestling. Okay, we did it first. That's all I'm saying. Game 7 in Denver, NBA, Wolves and the Nuggets. That's going to be an interesting, game coming up. I want to talk about the quality of basketball that I'm seeing in the NBA and what it means and how I feel that the NBA doesn't really understand what side of their bread it's buttered on, or what, where their money is made. Knicks Pacers going on right now. Pacers are up at halftime. Will Inside the NBA continue? There's some rumblings about Peacock, NBC Universal possibly putting a bid in for the NBA, and TNT might lose that license, those rights, and the Inside the NBA show that's been a staple and a pillar for our sports, our basketball for so many years. It might not be a thing going forward. What's going on with LeBron? There's some new information about what's happening with Bronny in the draft, so we're going to talk about that. And I want to talk about Caitlin Clark as well. 2 games into her WNBA career, I see a lot of scathing reports about her, and it's a little too early for that, but we're going to talk about that. Irrelevant news of the week, and then the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Now, obviously, we have to talk about this. The surveillance video, Diddy, Cassie, 2016, it's all over the place. Everybody's talking about it. Really, really damaging stuff. It was heartbreaking to watch. My thoughts and prayers go out to her. She's moved on and has a new life and trying to put everything past her. But, just seeing what the video has kind of shown us and what she's been trying to tell people for years, it's not a shock to me. I've heard stories about Diddy for years now. I've heard stories about Diddy dating back 20 plus years, that Diddy is not the type of dude to mess with. He's a little unhinged. It's kind of like that movie with goodness gracious, man, I can't remember, where he was the CEO and he was crazy. That's him. That's kind of him in real life. You know what I mean? Like, that's really spot on. And it's like, what were your thoughts when you saw Silent Assassin, and what do you think should be the outcome to all of this? Because at this point, I think Diddy's done. Like, it's over for him. Like, any businesses that were affiliated with him, if they want to make sure that they're going forward and wanting to get away from this, they're going to have to sever ties. Whatever businesses that he has, he might have to, liquidate those, consolidate those, and just kind of disappear. Mm-hmm. Right? I just think that for public eye stuff, I think he's done. Mm-hmm. So, thoughts?
Yeah, even so when I watched the video, even like the first kind of like few seconds, he kind of just like takes her down and just flips her on the floor, and then literally like kicks her in the face. It's just like, I was like, how do you like do that to like someone? I mean, it happens a lot, but like for me, it's just like disbelief that do that to someone you love and care about. Right. Treat them like that. And he obviously has all those allegations, truth coming out of all like the parties and everything. I don't think there's much left for him. I see a lot of jail time. Yeah. Definitely needing to come his way. So even like we were talking about a little bit off camera, like the times of the society, like it is bad of people just reactions to things, but this is definitely needed where you need those reactions to take serious and everything. Yeah.
Like in this situation, like the instant gratification of video and the outrage and people you know, uniformly, you know, saying that this is wrong and this needs to go. I have no problem with that, right? You know, no man should put their hands on a woman. I think any man that puts their hands on a woman is a coward, and is just greedy for power. It's a power trip. It's something that a lot of people that are in those high situations do, or they do it to people who they think that are weaker than them, or that it's just something that's always been an insecurity in their makeup and their genetic makeup where they have to do this. Like I said, he's cooked. I can't see any comeback for him at this point. And listen, he may not want it, and he probably knew that this was coming, and that's fine for him. But the fact that he had put out a statement and he was, you know, playing his innocence, saying that he didn't, all this stuff is false. Well, bruh, really? Like, now you look even crazier putting out a statement like that. And now this video released. Like, first off, let's kind of get into just the other side of it. If I'm somebody who is unhinged and I'm this psycho, and I'm going to go ahead and do all this crazy stuff that I think that people aren't watching, and I'm in a hotel, I got to know that there's some security cameras somewhere. Wouldn't you think to get that footage?
Yeah. Like, you're out in the open and like you're not in the room. You're out in the hallway by the elevators.
Right.
You know?
Like, wouldn't you think to say, yo, whatever footage you had up here, I need that. I need to have that destroyed.
Got all the money, all the power.
Right.
Listen to you. Yeah.
But you see, that in that situation, people that are so powerful like that, they believe that people are gonna defend them regardless because they're so scared that they don't want any smoke. Without that person having to say anything, you're already going to react and say, "Oh, we can't release this because we don't want that type of energy from him." Should have covered your tracks, bruh. That's all I'm saying. Like, you can't be that stupid. But then a lot of people are.
Dummy, yeah.
So, you know, it's one of those things where it's like pride cometh before the fall. So always you think that you're better than everybody. You think that you're above the law. You're above respecting people. You're above treating people with kindness. You're above all of that. Like, people are supposed to grovel at your feet. They're supposed to give you whatever you want. They're not supposed to say no to you. And at some point, the rent comes due. All of that bad behavior that you do, all of the things that you do to people, it comes back to you in some way. Somebody always slips up. And you always see that fall. It's always a public display and a fall from grace. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So, moving on. The NFL, they have agreed to a Netflix deal. I think it's a couple of Christmas games starting this year, I believe, 2024, which is pretty cool, man. I think, you know, Christmas has always been an NBA thing where they have big, you know, Christmas games and stuff like that, but the NFL has started to do that more. I think they started doing that either last year or the year before that, Christmas games. So the fact that they're now partnering with Netflix to be able to have those Christmas games broadcasted, I think it's, you know, the NFL continues to just be the innovative sports organization and the model of how you're supposed to do things. You know, a lot of shit that they do wrong, a lot of stuff that I don't agree with Goodell with, but in regards to making money and knowing how to be able to keep that machine going, he's the GOAT. I ain't gonna lie to you, he is the man when it comes to that. So, you know, prepare your Netflix and, you know, tune into the Christmas games. It gotta be better than Amazon, because I don't like the Amazon coverage. The commentary sucks. Halftime shows suck. I don't like it. So I hope Netflix got something better than Amazon, because Amazon sucks. They gotta change that whole setup. The game's crap. The cover's bad. I don't like what they got on it. Don't like it. So I need to know who the Netflix team is gonna be. All that stuff. I need to know. But yeah, shouts to them for getting that deal done. Like I said, WWE's over here setting trends out here. You know, not football, baseball, that is wrestling. Okay, we got the $5 billion deal with Netflix. Not anybody else. Not the NFL. WWE. I should be talking about wrestling on the show, but not this week. Not this week. After the break, Harrison Butker. That's going to be an interesting conversation because you might not think that I'm going to go in this direction. Who knows? Who knows what I'm going to say? Because I am the lightning rod at the end of the day. After the break.
Yo, it's your man DJ G Money from that Flip the Script podcast. You see it? We in the studio right now. Flip, shut up. Yeah. Oh, listen. Shout out to the All Even podcast. My man Barry Grant Jr. What's up, man? What happened? What you want to say to the people?
Shout out somebody else's podcast?
Yeah, my nigga the joint. What's up?
All Even.
All Even podcast.
Yo, it ain't even up here, boy. We put this go something. All Even. Yo, you. Oh my God. What's up with you, man? Now you go. That's the shout out. You keeping this?
Yeah, keep all that. You want to jump
All
on the
Even
camera?
podcast, right?
Yeah, All
Shout out
Even.
to All Even podcast, right? All Even. That's your man.
My man.
All right, shout out to All Even podcast. You cool?
100%. He cool. Is he cool? Let me see. Is he cool?
Yeah. What is it, G?
Oh.
I said about G.
He cool, man.
Welcome back, y'all. Outrage in the NFL. There's always outrage somewhere. There's always somebody that's offended about something. Harrison Butker, kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Well, he was at a Catholic academy, had a speech there, and he was talking about, you know, being a devout Christian Catholic and how he believes that fulfillment for women should be not in their careers, but being more, you know, wives and mothers and homemakers and making sure that the family unit is good and prospering and fruitful. That's what he believes a fulfilling life for a woman is. And video got out and there's outrage. People want to cancel this man. You know, they're talking about they've opened up GoFundMe's to try to get the Chiefs to cut him. The NFL has come out and said that they don't align with whatever views he has. Everybody can be able to feel the way they want to feel, and that's fine, right? If you want to go ahead and cancel Harrison Butker, if you want to go say that he's a misogynist, you want to go say that he's a Neanderthal, that he hits his wife over the head with a hammer or a club and drags her back into the cave, whatever the fuck you want to say. Here's the problem that I have, right? What he said was through his anecdotal experience. This is a man that probably was raised in that particular type of family structure and unit. This is a man that when he grew up and said, I'd like that same family structure and family unit that I was raised on because I saw that it worked. My parents were happy. We were well taken care of. Everything was fine. So I want that for my own family. He provides and gets that for his own family. Fine. He's now telling people, hey, this is an option that I feel works. So if you want to go ahead and pursue that, I believe that this is a fulfilling life because I myself have experienced it, watching my mother, watching my wife experience that. I haven't seen a problem. So I think that other people can be able to explore this particular option. He said this in a setting that I'm sure about 80 to 95% of the people agreed with what he said. This is not something that he said after a game-winning kick in the NFL and he takes to the podium and says this. This is not something that he said in a pre-game press conference. This is not anything that he got caught on video saying at practice. This is something that he said in a setting that is appropriate for this type of mindset. A lot of people think that way. We live in a society nowadays, Silent Assassin, where if somebody disagrees with you, they automatically want to cancel you. They automatically look at you as you are the dumbest person in the world. I see things, oh, that's the dumbest take I've ever seen. L take, oh, that's stupid. You can just disagree. If you don't like what he said, then just say, I don't like what he said, and move the fuck on. If somebody you date, you're on a date with somebody, and the person says, yeah, I'd like my woman to stay home. I don't really like her to work and all this stuff. I want her to be able to hold things down at home. And you don't like that, then you know you have a choice to make. You can either keep pursuing this particular relationship, or you can sever ties and never speak to this person again. But what the wrong thing to do is tell this person that he's full of shit and you want to make sure and make his life a living hell. Why? It's his views. He's not trying to offend anybody. This is how he looks at things. We have to stop ostracizing people for their opinions. It's an opinion. You can either agree with somebody or disagree. I don't necessarily have to look at you as a bad person. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think definitely even just like the topic of religion obviously is a big factor in the whole world's fighting and whatnot.
Yes.
So, I definitely am not on his side of his form of thinking, but you have to respect that he comes from, the Bible and what it says in there, what a woman's supposed to be, and he's not going out there forcing anyone. He's just sharing his ideas and thoughts. This might be something that you might be interested in.
Exactly.
But I'm not out here commenting on everything, saying this man should go die, whatever.
Exactly.
It's what it is.
Simple and plain. That's all it is. He is not in a position to influence any rule changes, any laws to be able to force people to do things beyond their will. This is his opinion. I'm telling you, I am sick of this cancel culture. I think cancel culture is probably the worst part of our society. It's run by a bunch of dweebs and losers and people that have been picked last in sports. Like, I truly believe that what happened in our culture, Silent Assassin, is that the people that were insecure and didn't have many friends and always had a problem with things and were super offended about everything that you said to them, you can tell them and ask them, how is your day going? And they will look at you like you have 9 heads. Those people 20, 30 years ago had children. And they downloaded their bullshit and their insecurities onto those children. Telling those kids, it's all right, little Jimmy. You can be able to finish 15th place. You're just as good as the kid that finished first. You deserve the same trophy. And little Jimmy grows up and says, you know what? You're right. I can be able to be mediocre my entire life and still ask for the best. Because I am just as good as that person without working as hard. I don't need to know how to hit a baseball correctly because my mom told me that I don't need to. I can just will myself to be the best. We don't need scoreboards at Pee-wee games anymore because we don't want to be offended with the wins and losses or the scores. There's winners and there's losers in life. And what happened in this alternate universe that we stepped in is that it's such a bad thing to be different. It's a bad thing to be a winner. It's a bad thing to be a loser. It's a bad thing to have adversity and be different. We can't have our opinion about things. Mm-hmm. If you don't agree with somebody, if I don't have the same views as you do, then I'm a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't think that James Harden is the greatest thing since sliced bread, if I think that he's a failure in the NBA because of being the number one guy that never did anything, and I have people telling me how stupid of a take that is because he's made so much money in his life. Just agree to disagree. This is where we need to stop. Harrison Butker's not a bad guy. Harrison Butker's not telling you that you need to knock your wife over the head with a club and force her to do things beyond her will. He's just telling you, hey, it worked for me. Maybe if you give it a try, it may work for you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to do it, that's okay too. Moving on. The NFL schedule was out, and I, as a Dallas Cowboys fan, I am not excited. I'm not looking forward to it because I don't particularly think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to be any good this season. And, shouts to Jeff. He had gave me the schedule of Dallas, and it's like, yeah, I think they can go another 12-5. Okay? They've been 12-5 the last 3 seasons. I don't think that they will go 12-5. I have more 7-10 maybe. 9-8 if they're lucky. So, let's see what we got here. We got the whole schedule out here. Week 1 against the Browns. Loss. Week 2 against the Saints. I think they can beat the Saints. Week 3 against the Ravens. Loss. Week 4 against the Giants. Giants are still rebuilding. They still putting things together. They still got Captain Small Hands over there. So we can take the W there, right? So we got 2-2 so far. We got Steelers next. They taking the L, the Steelers. They losing. Lions, loss. 49ers, loss. Falcons, they may end up winning that game, okay? Eagles, loss. Texans, they may pull out that game because I think the Texans will probably take their foot off the gas and maybe they'll give the Cowboys a little reprieve there. Commanders, they'll win that game. Giants, they'll win that game. So a little 3-game winning streak there. They'll go against Joe Burrow and the Bengals, loss. They'll beat the Panthers because the Panthers suck. Bucks, Eagles, and Commanders finish out the season, and that's 3 L's. So what do we got there? That's 7-10. That's 7-10. That's what I think that this team is. They're not good enough to compete and win the division. They're not good enough to possibly make the playoffs. Now, you can probably flip a couple of games. You may flip the Commanders in Week 18. You could probably flip the Eagles or maybe the Bucks. That flips them to 9-8. Maybe that gets them into the playoffs. I don't know. I just don't see this team being that good because guess what? I've said it all the time. If Dak Prescott's your quarterback, you're screwed. You're screwed. He's not good enough to get the job done. He's not good enough to be able to lead you to victory. Everything has to be picture perfect for Dak Prescott to succeed. I'm tired of people talking about, well, if Dak Prescott was on the 49ers, you can say that about any quarterback. You say that about anybody. If Jared Goff played for the New England Patriots with those guys back then with the offensive line and you have all the time to throw, Jared Goff would probably be good. Situations matter. If your organization is well ran and things can be able to be good for you, you can succeed. Look what happened to Jared Goff. He was on the Rams, got to the Super Bowl. Things didn't really work out after that. They traded him for Matthew Stafford. Stafford wins the Super Bowl. He goes to Detroit. Everybody thinks that he's in purgatory. And now Detroit is one of the best teams in the league. Just got paid. Situations matter. Right? He's in a situation now that's thriving for him. Dak Prescott needs a situation like that where there's everything just like suited for him. There's a good line. There's good receivers. There's a good running game. There's a good coach. There's a good offensive coordinator. There's all of these things that are in place. You cannot expect Dak Prescott to lead you like Brady, like Manning, like Pat Mahomes, like a Joe Burrow. He's not that type. So this is why they're not going to do nothing. And I hope they finish lower than 7-10 so we can be able to get higher in the draft, get me a quarterback, and get Dak the hell out of here. That's what I want. That's an ideal season for me. 7-10, Cowboys stink, get a high draft pick, get Dak out of here. He goes and finds somewhere else to go. We get a new quarterback, and everybody's happy. That's what I'm looking for. I'm tired of this purgatory. I'm tired of having the same dry-ass oatmeal every damn day. And knowing that there's never going to be no sugar in there. There's not going to put no strawberries in there. It's going to be the same bland-ass oatmeal every damn day. Who wants to eat that? Right? Who wants to be in a marriage with no... Who wants to be in a marriage with no spice? Right? Same positions all the time. You know? Same rendezvous spot all the time. Come on. Put some spice into it, man. He ain't got none. And we know where he is. We know that we can't get where we want to be with this quarterback. So which means you got to let him go elsewhere and go find somebody else that can probably get you over the hump. That's all it is. Sometimes situations don't work. Relationships fail all the time. Marriages fail. Businesses fail. You know what I mean? If my business fails, I'm not going to pick up the scraps and try to start this business again. It's over. Go find something else to do. Go drive Uber for a little while. Do something. But this business is done. Dak and the Cowboys, that business is done. We've seen how far he can go. We've seen how much he can be able to do in this particular system. It's over. Jerry, let him go. You should have did it in 2020. Let him go now. Moving on to my irrelevant news of the week.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch that? I mean, yeah, they stink.
I don't have much. Sadly enough, I don't have much irrelevant news of the week. I do have one, though, that I liked. I think you sent me one, did you? Here's one. Nashville police officer fired over OnlyFans video showing traffic stop. And I do put traffic stop in quotations. So this particular idiot is a cop and has an OnlyFans and filmed the video where he's pulling somebody over. Ladies in the car. You don't see the officer's face. You only see his body, his badge, his hands. And they do some dry ass porn dialogue where it's like, hey, officer, you want me to have my hands on the steering wheel? Well, yeah. You know, well, what can I do to get out of this ticket? Like, it's just dumb. Why would you do this in uniform? Go get a fake uniform. Do something. But why would you use your real uniform, your real badge number? You don't think that somebody in your department is a creep and they're already on OnlyFans surfing and come about your particular content? Think about it. There's a lot of people out there that watch OnlyFans. A lot of people. You got to be careful, right? You got to be careful with the people that are out there, because if you got an OnlyFans and you over here in a job, they may subscribe to your stuff and you don't even know. You don't even know. You could be a foot model. And these creeps out here over here giving you $90 a piece just to be able to wiggle a toe. You're probably working with the person that's giving you that $90. You don't know who's on your on your OnlyFans. You just don't know. So why would you even try or risk that particular thing? I just don't get it. I don't understand it.
No, definitely should be like dummy caliber.
Yeah.
For that, but like definitely like say if it's known like, oh, Sabrina has an OnlyFans in the office, that Bob is gonna be on that. Like every male in the office is gonna be subscribed to her with the fake name,
right,
and everything. So you know it's bound to come out.
Yeah. You already know the police chief was You already know the police chief was at the desk surfing his OnlyFans and said, oh, found this. What's going on here? Yeah, see, nobody's even talking about that part of it, though, right? Nobody's talking about that part of it, that somebody caught him on his OnlyFans because they was creeping on OnlyFans. Come on now. What are we doing? Right? What are we doing? Moving on. Silent Assassin sent me this one. This is pretty good. Indiana judge rules that tacos and burritos are Mexican-style sandwiches. Now, is she wrong?
No, I don't agree.
Look, I mean, come on. Why is she wrong?
I just see it as two separate. Like, I'm still like someone too like doesn't think like a hot dog and a hamburger is a sandwich either.
Right.
Like, it's like its own thing. So a taco is in a shell.
Yes.
Not really bread. I mean, you could put in a tortilla, but tortilla to me is not bread either. It's its own form of food.
Yes.
So then burrito too is like a wrap up thing.
See, you going in depth with the explanation.
Yeah.
I don't think this judge cared about none of that in depth explanation. She's just looking at it like, look, Taco Bell. I know Taco Bell. I know tacos and burritos, Mexican. Yo, she just put a blanket rule on it. Yeah. Mexican. That's. I mean, look, it is a South American cuisine. You know.
So it's like too like, why was it her? Like, out of everyone in the world, what was bought to her?
Right.
To make this statement.
Yeah, I would love to know the background of the story. I really would. But man, that shit was funny. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I see now, I'm just like, she's not really wrong. She's not really wrong. But in this day and age, in this society, she's wrong, right? They're gonna go ahead and take offense to it. But like, I'm not gonna. You gotta think about it too, right? If you want a real taco and a real burrito, you're not going to Denny's.
No.
You're not going to IHOP. You going to what?
I go like the taco truck.
A real Mexican or South American style type of place. That's what I'm saying. Like, we gotta stop this like being offended shit. Like, this shit right here makes sense to me. It's like if somebody says, yeah, you know, I want good chicken and waffles. I dub chicken and waffles, you know, soul food dish. You ain't gonna get offended. That's real. It's true. That's a black person dish that we created it. Don't take offense to that. General Tso's chicken, that's Chinese.
I don't even know if that is Chinese.
Right. We don't even know, but we've dubbed it that, right?
Yeah.
We've dubbed it that, ignorantly or not, right? Just what it is. You know, let's just not be offended about certain stuff. That's all I'm saying. Like, sometimes you gotta take things tongue in cheek and just laugh. It's okay to laugh. Tom Brady, it's okay to not be offended or regret your roast because the shit was funny. That's all I'm saying. Do we have any more? I think that might be it, right? I think that is my irrelevant news of the week.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch them? I mean, yeah, they stink.
After the break, we're going to talk some NBA talk because there's playoffs going on. There's some big games coming up over the horizon, game 7s, and some other things I'd like to discuss after the break.
Yo, this is Cigar Gents and Gals. I want to give a shout out to my boy Barry for All Even Podcast. Keep doing your thing, bro. Killing it.
It's a bunch of game 7s. Game 7 with the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves is upon us as well. Obviously we're filming on a Friday night. Knicks and Pacers are playing right now. Pacers are killing the Knicks at home. Game 7 is going to be back in MSG in New York City at the Garden. That place is going to be rocking. I'm sure Knicks fans are going to be super nervous, but you know, the Knicks I knew that it would be a very, very hard arduous task for them to be able to deal with in this game. The Pacers are home. The crowd is rolling. Pascal Siakam had a great game, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Tyrese Halliburton didn't really shoot that much, 15, 6, and 9. So everybody except Neesmith had double figures in the starting lineup. They got great production from their bench. Obi Toppin, TJ McConnell has been great this entire series. So, Knicks, I don't even know what to say. I picked the Knicks to advance in this series, but I really don't know what Game 7 has to hold. Josh Hart, terrible game from Josh Hart, 5 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and I do think that we're starting to see a little fatigue with this team. A lot of people talk about, fatigue doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, Jalen Brunson's doing his thing, but if collectively these guys are playing big minutes and logging big minutes, they're going to get tired, they're going to slow down. These Pacers do just that. They league in pace. They play the fastest tempo in the league. They're used to this. They're kids. They're playing with house money. So it's like you got to be able to keep up with that. And if you have a team that doesn't have those particular type of cardio warriors, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. In Denver gets smoked by the Timberwolves by 45 points on the road. They're going back home to Denver for Game 7. That place is going to be rocking. Jokic is going to be ready. But, it's another bad loss. It's another chance for a lower seed to be able to advance. And, these playoffs have been super weird. I took the TikTok and I was just like, these playoffs, with all the blowouts, man, it just doesn't seem like the quality of basketball from a competition standpoint is there for me. I've never seen so many blowouts in playoffs, honestly. I'm used to games being tight and being competitive, and you're seeing 45-point blowouts. The Knicks are getting blown out right now by 18. Just a collective. We saw the Celtics and Cavs. That series was just bad, just one-sided. And the reason why I think that is that the NBA, they have been really, really, really locked on parity. They see the NFL. They see what the NHL is doing. Hell, they even see in baseball the fact that teams can be able to get into the postseason and have a run just like the Arizona Diamondbacks had. The Texas Rangers. Like, they want that. They want to see fan bases and organizations not go on these 15, 17, 20-year droughts of not making the playoffs or not making a conference final. That's what they want. That's why they've designed the salary cap the way it is. They're restricting, 3-star builds. There's the first apron, the second apron, all of these penalties that you have to do now because they want more parity. But here's the problem with parity in sports and parity in basketball specifically. Every time there's been a dynasty, the NBA has made more money. It's very interesting how that works. You got the Lakers in the 80s and Celtics. Dynasties. NBA made super money. You had the Chicago Bulls in the 90s. Right? Team of the 90s. Michael Jordan. They made stratospheric money. Like, you know what I mean? Lakers, end of the 90s into the 2000s, early 2000s. Money. You then had the Spurs that won their 5 championships. Money. Although they weren't a big market team, people wanted to see the Spurs lose. You had the Miami Heat after that. You had the Golden State Warriors after that. All of these particular teams are super teams and they're dynasties. Dynasties are needed in sports because there's always going to be that villain that people want to see lose, and that generates more money. Floyd Mayweather in boxing. Everybody wanted to see Floyd lose, so people paid their money to watch it. There was never more money made than when Floyd was making his money. He capitalized on the villain role of everybody wanting to see him lose. The New England Patriots being the villains that they were in football, right? The evil empire, Palpatine, as you know, Bill Belichick is Palpatine. People wanted to see Brady lose. It made the NFL more money. What do you think is going on with the Chiefs? People will hate the Chiefs after a while. They want to see them lose. The NFL will make stratospheric money on that too. So for this whole parody shit, you want to be the WNBA? Go ahead. That's not what I want. I want dynasties. I want somebody to be the villain. You need a catalyst all the time. It's just the way things work. This is why movies work. If everybody was a good guy, and there's just, hey, we got this good guy over here, and nobody would watch it. There's a catalyst in a movie. There's a villain that's causing all of these problems that the villain can't be stopped. Oh, Thanos, what are we gonna do? Oh, villain. You gotta find ways to be able to take the villain down. And controversy always sells. Dynasties sell. And what I'm watching right now is all of this talent that's being, spread out across the league. We're going to have more expansion franchises enter the basketball at some point. We'll get a Vegas team. We'll get a Seattle team. We'll get maybe a Virginia Beach team. All of these other places that will vie for NBA franchises, fine. But that's just going to be able to spread out the talent even more. And you'll get the quality of basketball that we're seeing right now. The talent has never been higher. It's not the talent that's the problem. It's the fact that we are not having no dynasties. This is why, as much as I hate the Warriors, bring them back. Bring them back. Bring back Steph and all these. Bring it back. I'm tired of this, man. 45-point blowouts. Defending champions getting blown out by 45. I never see the Chicago Bulls get blown out by 45 points. Never seen the Lakers get blown out by 40. What are we doing? 45 points? Is this not basketball? Is this not professional ball? You score 70 points in a playoff game? 70? I see more points scored in March Madness. I see more points scored in my Boston Suns game. You professionals, 70 points? Come on, man. I'm done with the parody. Let the 3-star teams come back. The Miami Heat were great for basketball. They were great. Everybody hated LeBron, hated Wade, hated Bosh, and they made a lot of money in those 4 years because people want to see them lose. And nothing wrong with that. Sick of it. I may sound like a miserable old man, silent assassin, but it's the truth. I took the TikTok, you know what I mean? People, everybody's like, I agree. I agree. We want to see good basketball. We want to see dynasties. We want somebody to hate. We don't want to, this team's good. This team's good. I don't care about that. Give me somebody. Give me one team with a bunch of jerks that play great basketball and people want to see them lose. That's what it's about. Sports. We hate the Yankees. Why? Not because they had 10 other teams that were like the Yankees. Because the Yankees were the best. Mm-hmm. They got all the players. They had the most money. You wanted to see them lose. So when the Diamondbacks beat their ass in 2001, everybody cheered. Everyone. Because the little guy beat the big guy. When they lost to the Florida Marlins in 2003, little guy beats the big guy. That's what you want to see. I just don't understand. Moving on. See, Silent Assassin, I am a truth teller. And when people like me come along, and we are the lightning rod for just being real, people, they don't know how to handle it. Oh, you're so harsh. Well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it like that. Grow a pair of nuts. Seriously. It's like anything that I say on this show, I'd say to anybody they face. I don't know you. Don't matter to me. This is my opinion.
You're gonna keep it honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it honest.
Yeah,
this is my opinion.
Yeah, not gonna beat around the bush. If you feel something, say it how you feel it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that you're a terrible father and you're a horrible husband. I don't know your personal life. I'm gonna talk about your game though. Receptacle, if it is. You know what I mean? Then the Denver Nuggets were receptacles in Game 6. Knicks, receptacles. Do better. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. There is a shift that's going on in basketball, possibly with Peacock, NBC Universal having a big bid to, get NBA games again. NBC used to have the NBA contract and they lost it to TNT. TNT has been the staple of basketball content for over 20 years. Inside the NBA has been a staple in our society for over 20 years. Damn near 30, over 30 years or whatever it is. And there's a possibility that with Peacock, NBC Universal, getting the rights back, that inside the NBA might not be a thing anymore. And that would be sad. I think that, Chuck and Shaq and Ernie and Kenny and everybody that's there, the production team, that's a show that we can't lose. And I can't understand how maybe it wasn't an option where, Peacock or NBC Universal came in and say, hey, listen, is there any way that we can be able to maybe settle with TNT to see if we can be able to get that show over there? Obviously, it's their IP, right? It's their intellectual property. They might not be wanting to sell it. I get it. But just not having that show, it's going to suck. Because everybody looks forward to seeing inside of the NBA. I think more people enjoy watching inside the NBA than they actually do the games. So, I don't know. There's still rumor or speculation out there. There's not a final thing that's come out yet. It's not a done deal. But, with all the uncertainty out there, I just want to show my appreciation for everything that those guys have done, bringing basketball content into our homes, breaking things down, making life so relaxing and funny, not taking themselves seriously. I think that everybody who covers sports should look at that and want to imitate that, want to mirror that, because that's the way to be able to do it. Honest opinions, all of them are pretty much lightning rods outside of maybe Kenny and Ernie, but Charles and Shaq and Wade when he's there. People come on there and they do their thing, man. It's been a great show and I hope it continues. But if it doesn't, it's been a great run and hopefully somebody can be able to pick them up so they can continue. If it's not on TNT, it's somewhere else. So shouts to Inside the NBA for all the memories. If this is the last hoorah, you guys have been a pillar and a staple in our society for so many years. And I just wanted to, put my appreciation out there for those guys. Moving on. There is news out of Lakerland that LeBron James does not want to jeopardize his son's NBA career, which means that teams that are looking to draft Bronny, he has put out some information through Shams Charania that he is not going to leave the Lakers to sign with any team that drafts his son. He's been very, very adamant in the past to say that he wants to play with Bronny. But I think that passion and that dream of his, people have really turned it around and had this negative, horrible narrative about him. There's nepotism. It's the only reason why Bronny's getting drafted because teams want him and they don't want Bronny, so they're trying to get LeBron on the team and they'll draft his son as hostage, right? It's just like, why can't LeBron James live, and why can't people just look at his son as, listen, he may not be as good as his dad. He's not as tall as his dad. He's only 6'1". But give the kid a chance. I said to you that I don't write off any 19-year-old. He's 19. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have to go through life. You got to become an adult. Let him grow. Let him become the player that he's going to be or not. He may end up flushing out of the league, but at least give him a chance to be able to succeed. And on his side of things, I think it's very important for him to embrace his legacy. Don't shy away from it and say, oh, I want people to look at me as me. No, embrace that shit. I am the son of LeBron James. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to treat me as I'm my father. No, but I do come from a special man. I do come from a stable family unit. I do come from good quality values, and I'm going to bust my ass and try to make my own career. That's admirable. This kid went to USC. He didn't have a great freshman season. He's betting on himself. I wish he would have stayed in school because he would have guaranteed been a lottery pick next year. But he wanted to test the waters and go into the league and try to see what he can be able to do. He wants to carve out his own niche. I can't hate the kid for that. And I think people need to stop this narrative of, oh, well, he's only getting a shot because of his dad. Like, yo, people hate LeBron on a different level. Like, I've never seen this type of reaction from an athlete of how people are so negative just because he's not who they grow up watching, right? All the VHS tapes that they jerked off to and left certain types of fluid on the VHS tapes because they were in such heaven watching Michael Jordan jump through the air, and it made them feel good about themselves. They just can't stop themselves from hating somebody that might be just as good as Jordan, may not be better than him, but there's a conversation to be made, no matter depending on who you talk to, and they just can't get over that. Oh, this guy's getting all of this attention. Well, I remember when Michael Jordan's not playing anymore. And if you don't like LeBron, just wait until he retires and watch the NBA again. But stop hating on the dude. I've never seen somebody get hate on like that. The man has never been in trouble. Kids are graduating. Kids are fine. He's got a kid that's going to be in the NBA. He got another kid playing basketball. Has a daughter that's playing volleyball in school, doing her thing. His wife is a successful entrepreneur. Like, what more do you want from this man? Just because he doesn't have a bald head and sticks his tongue out and does stupid Space Jam movies? Yeah, we did one. It was bad. But, that's all I'm saying. Just leave the man alone, man. Leave the man alone, but also let his son be his own man. Stop attaching Bronny's success to this puppet master that people like to say LeBron is, and he's pulling the strings. Oh, well, he got his son a tryout. No, he didn't. He's literally putting out a message to say, don't think that you're going to sign me by taking my son. I'm not going to do that to him. I'm not going to jeopardize his career, because if I retire, what's going to happen to my son? You going to cut him because I'm not here anymore? I'm not going to do that to him. If you want him because you want to help him develop and become a good basketball player, not because of me. So if he comes out to do that, I want to see what the critics are going to say now. Oh, that's a smoke screen. He's still pulling the strings. He can never win. He can never win. LeBron is the bad guy. He's the villain. And this and whatever. Moving on. I want to talk about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark has had a rough go these first 2 games. They got blown out by the Liberty. Can't remember who they played opening night, but she didn't play well in both games. And people are saying, "Oh, well, the hype is not real," and oh, look at all of this. And I'm just like, I said this a few weeks ago that I don't know if she's gonna be able to live up to the hype. It's a lot to live up to in regards to the expectations of being dubbed the savior of a sport. But what she will do is generate enough buzz to warrant some interest in the game. People will probably want to see her succeed, or you probably have detractors that would want to see her fail. And the one thing that I would say is that I'm not going to write her off after 2 games, because guess what? The WNBA is really, really hard because it's a bunch of professionals. Caitlin Clark is coming from college, and she was going against and competing with kids. These are grown-ass women with chips on their shoulders, trying to make more money, trying to earn a living for their families, right? They're not going to kowtow and move over for Caitlin Clark. They're going to make sure that they make things very difficult for her, because she's going to have to prove herself. So she may struggle. She may struggle this entire year. That doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to be a bad player going forward. That just means that she knows that it's not a game now. That the WNBA speed of play is way different than college. Your coach is not giving you the green light to shoot every fucking shot. That you're going to have to defend at a very high level to be able to keep somebody in front of you. So all of these things that you probably didn't have to do in college, you're going to have to do now. So it's a big wake-up call for her. So I'm not going to shade the girl. It's only 2 games. But if anybody thought that she was just going to step in and do work, they don't know ball. They don't know basketball. And there's a lot of people out there that don't know basketball. And they play it, but they don't know it. They think they know it, but they don't. They watch box scores. Oh, well, the box score says you don't know shit. That's the truth. I'm a truth teller. I'm going to keep saying what I want to say. Because people don't like it, I'm going to be honest. That's all it is. Moving on. Real quick before we go to break. All this backlash I've seen about JJ Redick and him possibly being the front runner for the Lakers head coaching job, and people are saying that, oh, it's LeBron James pulling the strings and he's not ready for it. And I'm just like, I don't understand why we live in this society that people are just so stupid. And it's not about an intelligence thing. It's just more about understanding how things work. If a guy is smart enough and he's personable enough and he interviews well, he's going to get an opportunity. We've seen guys that don't have experience succeed at the highest level of coaching. Who's to say that JJ Redick is not going to be the next one? Who's to say that he's not going to be able to handle the spotlight of LA? He played in LA before. He understands the market. He's friends with LeBron. That works. He's also young enough to be able to help the Lakers develop the younger talent when LeBron leaves. There's nobody else out there that can be able to check all of those particular boxes. Sam Cassell, maybe. He's well respected, but I just don't trust the fact that Doc Rivers was his mentor. I don't like it. I am willing to give JJ a chance because JJ is he's a fresh start. He's a breath of fresh air in regards to not knowing what he is, but his potential is really, really high to be great. Steve Kerr went from GM to coach, hasn't looked back since. Mark Jackson was pretty good, coming from the booth to the seat, pretty good. Jason Kidd retired and went straight into coaching, learned his way pretty good. So don't knock it just because you don't like LeBron. Give the dude a chance. Because I can guarantee that if he succeeds, all of these people that thought that it was the stupidest move to make, they're going to be like, man, Lakers, man. I always knew that JJ Redick was going to be the man, yo. No, you didn't. You were one of those idiots that followed the sheep, followed the path that everybody else was going, and you didn't have an opinion of your own. Because most of you are
Dummy, yeah.
And that's just the way it is. After the break, the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Welcome back, y'all. Now it's time for the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Every week I go around the room and I ask who is the dummy of the week. There's no Claude, there's no Jimmy, there's no anybody but me and the Silent Assassin. So, Silent Assassin, who you got?
Mine is very specific this week, but it's people who decide to blow up bathrooms and they don't have the audacity to clean up after themselves.
Oh, goodness. Listen, what I've learned, and tell me if you can confirm this is accurate, that the women's bathroom is the most disgusting place on planet Earth.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I always thought that it was the opposite.
No. To be honest, lately I've been using the men's room at work. We have two bathrooms, men's and
Really?
women's. I've been be like, hey, knock on the door, scream, any man in here.
Yeah.
I'm clear to go. So I also made it like an announcement, hey, I'm like the only female there every day, and then the three other guys. I'm like, hey, I've made my own decision. I'm taking over the men's bathroom because I cannot stand the women's bathroom anymore. So, if I'm in there, please do not come in there. If you're in there, I will not go in.
Facts. So what is the story? What happened in the women's bathroom?
So I've kind of teased it earlier on the episode. So last Friday, I'm at work and my other female coworker is there. Well, this is actually on Thursday.
Right.
So she's there, and then we're actually talking about ghost stories all day. So like we're kind of like freaking each other out. So she goes to use the bathroom. Maybe like 2 minutes pass, and she comes back and has like this look on her face. I just look over to him like, what happened? I thought maybe she saw something, freaked herself out because of the ghost stories, but she's like, there is like poop smeared all up underneath the toilet in the woman's bathroom. And I was just like in shock. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, she's like, I don't even know how it's like possible for someone to do it. It looks like they like pooped in their hand and like smeared it everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm like, okay, well, there's you and I and then the girl that works upstairs. And I know like she wouldn't have done that. Right, so now we're like thinking, I'm like, okay, how is this possible? If there's three of us and we didn't do it. So I was like thinking about like maybe it's like the new owners, something happened, and that's what it is. But she wasn't even in that day, and I was like, well, maybe it was from the night before. So we're all kind of like investigating. We go in there and it's a mess. It smells horrible. It's just like footprints on the floor of it. Oh my
God, come on.
All up like on like the back of like the toilet, like the tank, like the water tank and stuff, just like everywhere. So maybe like an hour or two passes and the girl from upstairs comes down and she just starts like kind of like laughing, like uncomfortable type of laugh. And we're like, you're thinking about like the bathroom, right? And she's like, yeah. I said, what happened to you now? And she's like, some old woman, like a customer upstairs was like buying something, and she's like, I have to use the bathroom. And she's like, well, we don't like let customers really use it. She's like, no, it's like it's coming out right now. She's like, okay, then use the bathroom. So this older woman just lost control, I guess, and just like went everywhere but the toilet, like inside the toilet. And I had to make the executive decision, like, someone has to clean this up.
Oh.
I will clean it up. So then the Friday, the next morning, I go on there with my mask, spray, bleach everywhere, have the mop, water, and then just clean the whole thing up.
Oh my God.
I'm like, this is not even,
You
technically
Silent Assassin was the janitor?
Yeah, I gotta
Damn,
clean it up.
man.
Technically, it's not even our bathroom anymore. We don't own the bathroom anymore. I gotta clean this up. So, saving all the children that had to come into the birthday party the next day, so they didn't have to walk into that. But
listen, you are a saint to do that, but take your old ass, wear some Depends or something, right? If your old ass can't hold your stuff, then you don't be doing that.
yeah,
Like, ask for help. That's the thing too. Like, if you go ahead and do that, right? You have an accident. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
You have an accident. Nobody's gonna look at you crazy, but just ask for help. Hey, can a janitor come? There's a mess down there.
yeah,
Don't just leave that shit there.
left like nothing happened.
Yeah, like nothing happened. And then go ahead and go touch your steering wheel with your shit hands. Come on now.
Yeah, afterward too, I'm like, it was really everywhere. Like,
And
she
you
had
said
to
it
be
was
touching-
it was on her shoes.
Yeah, there's brown footprints in the
Yo,
stall.
that's
It smelled like a
crazy.
farm. It was horrible.
I'm sure that her car smells wild right now.
Yeah, and apparently too, like the girl upstairs, she said that the woman gave her a $10 tip.
Oh, covered in shit.
Yeah.
Covered in poop.
Yeah, it's just
Covered in poop.
horrible. I had a very eventful last Friday.
Wow. Wow. That is very, very, listen, brave of you. Commendable of you, but just nasty as hell. That old ass woman, get yourself some Depends because you are
Dummy. Yeah.
I don't understand it, man. I don't get it. That's a good one. That really was a good one. I don't think mine's as good. That was pretty good. May I have the drum roll, please? And the winners for Dummy of the Week, the New York Giants. New York Giants get my
Dummy. Yeah.
because, listen, these NFL jerseys, they try their best to be hip and fashionable and all this stuff, and I get it. I understand you want to be innovative, you want to be different. But what the Giants did, you're the Giants fan. You gotta let me know the Century Red throwback uniforms. Why would anybody be happy wearing this garbage? They look bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it looks like the shirt or the top of the jersey just looks like something like a basic shirt in the Sims game.
Yeah.
And the tan, like, ugly tan pants just doesn't go.
This is dead ass. If you ever played Madden and they had like the creator jersey, this is something that somebody would make that has no creativity whatsoever. Like it's not pleasing. The gold pants, the jersey itself, the helmet. I understand the helmet is a throwback, but this ain't good, man. This ain't good. And not to mention that your team is gonna be rubbish this season. Receptacle. You're gonna be able to wear this crap too. People gonna be upset. They'll be mad. They want to see regular Giants blue. They don't want to see this crap. They don't. You know what I mean? This is not a jersey that's gonna sell out.
No, even like I would say possibly it would pass if it like the gold tan wasn't there.
Right.
Like a white.
White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still a very like basic, jersey top and everything. So.
Right, because they said, okay, so this is they said that dubbed Century Red, the fresh kit is an amalgamation of retro elements found from their earliest years. So New York's inaugural 1925 season, a color-blocked red and blue jersey from the 1933 season, and a helmet designed with their 1938 headgear in mind. So this is an ode to the throwback New York Giants uniforms and helmets and stuff, and I get it, but some things don't need to be retroed. You know what I'm saying? It's like Dirty Dancing. You don't need to bring that back because it's a classic. Or you have the other way around, like Sharknado. Don't try to remix Sharknado because the shit was bad and we don't need it again. It was bad good. Leave it alone. Leave it in the past. You know what I mean? Like, just leave this to die somewhere. There was those Pittsburgh Steelers jerseys that look like bumblebees. Leave that shit alone. Like, we don't care about them ugly ass jerseys, man. Like, we don't want to see these. It's bad enough you suck, but you want to wear this too? Get beat 49-0 in these? Come on. I don't know what's going on with your Giants, man, but you know, there's always room on the Cowboys bandwagon. Or you can always come and be a Cowboys fan.
Any other team but the Cowboys.
So that is my dummy of the week. Giants do better. I don't care if you're trying to respect the throwbacks. All of those people that all those people are dead. They're not gonna appreciate this because nobody's alive. Nobody's alive to see it, so nobody cares. Yeah, do some new, fresh, make some new stuff. I'd like some new stuff. Like, make a new jersey that people are gonna be like, you know what, them Giants jerseys are fly. Like, they got a new look to them. Maybe a new logo, a new NY or something. Do something like that. This ain't moving the needle at all. This ain't moving the needle at all. It ain't. That's my dummy of the week. Do I have a PSA this week? I do. It's never good. I think it's good, though, because it's more of just telling the honest truth. If you have nothing good to say, don't say it at all. Especially online. If you're going to have disagreements with people, keep it to whatever the disagreement is or whatever the topic is, and don't veer off. Don't be an internet troll. It's not cool to be an internet troll. It's not cool to harass people. It's not cool to think that you can be this keyboard warrior and say what you want to say and be mean and spit your vitriol to people behind your social media wall. But then there's a part of me that also says that if people are not going to be nice and do these things, maybe I should create a burner account and do the same thing and see how it feels to be an internet troll for a day. You know, just go on to certain people's pages and just say, you suck and your family sucks. I just see what type of reactions I get. Like, I think that people just do that just to get a rise out of people. Like, they literally just create burner accounts and just do that. It's just amazing the time that people have. I don't have that type of time. You know what I mean? I don't have that much free time in my life to be able to, like, not do anything. You know what I mean? It's just, some people stick on social media all day long. That's all they do. It's their lives. You know, they have no friends. Nobody wants to hang out with them from high school. They're probably that guy from high school who says, hey, maybe we should hang out. And people say, no, we shouldn't hang out at all. You should just stay over there and go play with your dog. You know, it's just, so yeah, you know, I'm not with the internet trolling, but maybe I should try it one day. Maybe I should. I don't know. Do you think I'd be a good troll?
You do have, like, already kind of the villain vibe, so I feel like it'd be natural. So, but I wouldn't go that route. Stay true to yourself.
Yeah. Listen, I will continue to be the beacon of light. That's what I call myself. The beacon of light, the truth teller, the lightning rod. Because no matter what I say, how I say it, somebody's always going to be offended. And what I've learned, and I guess this will be the real PSA, what I've learned about life is that you can't please everybody. You're not. So it might as well just be true to yourself. Live your life as best you can. And whoever don't want to agree with you or want to ostracize you and think that you're this bad person, tell them to go jump off a fucking bridge. Like, that sounds harsh, but it's harsh to ostracize people for difference of opinion. You know what I mean? It's harsh to ostracize people because you think that they look different than you, that they talk different than you, that they don't follow some type of biblical ideologies that you've come to, you know, indoctrinate or embed into your particular mindset or life. It's all garbage. It's all garbage at the end of the day. Treat people with respect. Treat people nice. If you see somebody that needs help, make sure that you do so. If you have $1 in your pocket and somebody needs it, give it to them. Doesn't matter what they're going to use it for. You're giving it with love. That's the way I've always lived my life, and that's the way I'll continue to live my life. So for the people that don't support me, thanks. For the people that do support me, many thanks. Because we are trying to build here. We're trying to get to a certain level. We're trying to continue to do the things that we need to do to get to where we want to be. 10,000 subscribers are just around the corner. After that will be 15. After that will be 20 and 30. And we're going to keep rising this thing, because at the end of the day, man, no one person is going to be able to stop this wave. I'm telling you right now, I will not stop. I will continue to be that person, to continue to make content, to continue to push forward. So for all the people that say, well, who is this person? Doesn't matter if you don't know who I am. Doesn't matter if you never know who I am. Just know that you will never outwork me. You will never know what it takes to be behind this desk and in front of this camera and put in the work that I've put in the, you know, the work that my team and Silent Assassin and everybody that's put in here to be able to put on a decent product. Whether we get 5 views or 50,000 views, it doesn't really matter. The work doesn't stop. So that's my PSA. I will continue to be the villain, because that's just the way I know how to be. See the support, or go fuck yourself. So until next week, stay safe, stay cool, peace. Mom, take us out of here.
My son is the champ, so get over it.